Good morning, Brett.
Good morning, Tom. How are you?
I'm really good, especially since it's Friday.
Ooh, it's that lovely F word.
Yeah. In fact, that reminds me, I actually didn't submit my lip sync video post today. It's Friday. I gotta submit that right afterwards.
Those make my week, Tom. So funny.
Really silly. All right. This is a good one. Yeah, this is a
All
good
right.
one. All right. So
Maybe you could do Carly Simon one of these weeks.
yes. Probably think this song is about you. Let's do that. All right. Our request just came in. I'll let my wife know and make that
Casey
happen.
Kasem's top 40. And if you don't know what
Mm.
that
Yeah.
means, then you're too young.
Yeah. Or how about Delilah?
Oh, yeah. I'm a love channel. I'm listening. This one goes out to a very special couple.
Right.
Mm.
Delilah.
Yeah. Wow.
Anyway, we have a question that come has come in from actually a friend of mine who I admire greatly. Wise, but very humble, and has been on a spiritual and self-actualization journey
Uh-huh.
past couple years, and had asked this question, had asked a broad question, and we sort of Occam's razor style whittled it down, trimmed the fat, and got to the simplest version of it. And it's this question essentially, and it was during a conversation, and it's why do we do things that we know we shouldn't be doing? Why can't we just like be 100% perfect all the time?
Ooh, why can't we, Tom? That's a good one. Because we all fall into that. We all know what we should be doing. How many times do you and I, as a therapist, have somebody sitting in front of us and go, "I know what I need to do. I just can't do it."
Right. This happens all the time, and it happens for you and I.
Absolutely.
And you know what? I didn't have a stock answer for this because I don't think that there's one true or correct answer. I think there's just a
Hmm.
lot of thoughts that you and I have and that we've experienced in talking with many people over the years that this would be a great topic for today's show to talk about why do we do bad shit or why do we feel we need to do things that go against our health and wellness journey. We
Right.
know we shouldn't be eating those chips, but we still do. Why do we do?
Right. Well, I think there's lots of reasons or lots of factors that go into the answer to that question. And number one is our brains are, we crave that hit of dopamine, right?
Right.
So we are constantly chasing the pleasure chemical in our brain. And doing things that are hard or doing things that, don't are not always fun is not hitting that dopamine button,
Right. Right. Yeah,
right?
emotionally, right? Like we want this I mean, we're talking about food here, but it could be other things that I really shouldn't be doing, but they make you feel good, even if they're
Yeah.
not healthy, whether that's drugs and alcohol or relationship type stuff or the bag of chips and the donut, which is sort of what I've struggled with over the years, that sugar
Mhm.
addiction. And your brain say I shouldn't be doing this. However, emotionally speaking, we want that feel good. We want that happy hormone to be released, to get that hit of dopamine. And that feels good. And it's only temporary. And, sometimes there's some guilt afterwards. But like, why do we do those things? Well, one, like you said, for emotional, like feel goods to change our emotional state. I know that that donut and bag of chips is going to make me feel good in that moment. And I want to feel good in that moment.
Yeah.
When I'm stressed, when I'm anxious, when I'm lonely, when I'm tired, all those things.
Yeah, for sure.
And in that moment, I want that more than I want the long-term health and wellness.
Right.
Then I
Yeah.
want that whatever goal I want for.
Right. And then you start that whole debate, like, oh, I know I shouldn't eat the donut, but I really want the donut. And then you're into like this whole spiral thing. So
Right.
now you're in this, eternal debate about good versus evil. You have the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other shoulder. And
Right.
eat the donut, don't eat the donut, eat the donut, don't eat the donut.
Right. And you give into that. Hey, you know what? I deserve this little treat. Right.
Right, I can
I've
do
worked
this.
hard.
I've been good all week. I haven't had a donut in a month. I could eat a donut.
Right.
Right.
And I don't think that's necessarily bad, you know. Does it get in the way of us achieving our goals? Well, yeah, of course, especially if that, donut and bag of chips is once per week,
Right.
every other day.
Yeah, and I mean it does feel good to reward yourself, right?
Yeah.
So you get into the um uh justifying it. Well, I deserve it. I've worked so hard and I haven't had a donut in a month, so now I get to eat a donut. And look at me. I'm a, so we justify it, number one.
It's a
I
quick
think
fix.
I think number two is just the simple fact that our brains are built to for safety and to conserve energy,
Yeah.
right? So I think about that with exercise. Like I never want to go exercise. Like it's not something that I'm like, woohoo, I get to go exercise. I can't wait.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
usually like I have to, it's a I have to. And I talk to people all the time about I don't think motivation is a stupid word. I don't think it exists. I mean, it's just a word in the dictionary, but it means nothing. There is no such thing as motivation, right? I mean, yeah, I guess there is for some things, but for me, I'm never motivated to work out, to exercise, to
Mhm.
lift weights, to do cardio. It never enters my brain to like, yay, I get to go do this. but
Mhm.
it's but I have to because for health reasons, and I want to keep my body in a good shape, and I don't want it to deteriorate as I get older and those things. So
Yeah.
it's a habit. I have to do it. It's like it's non-negotiable. I have to brush my teeth a couple times a day. I have to try to eat good nutrition, and I have to exercise.
Right. Well, okay, to the brain part, this number two thing, um, we're kind of built for survival. And
Yeah,
survival is very in the moment. And we crave things that are going to promote our survival right here and now, in opposition to planning and thinking about long-term health and wellness. And if you're feeling down or if you're feeling low energy and you eat a candy bar, is it the healthiest choice? No, but it's going to give you that quick hit of sugar, the quick dopamine hit, and you're going to feel better and you're going to have energy right then, right?
yeah, absolutely.
That's sort of basic survival instinct, right?
Hmm. For sure.
And that overrides us delaying that instant
All right.
gratification, you know?
Delayed gratification is one of the hardest things we'll ever suffer through as human beings, right?
Yeah.
Mean, okay, we make money and we have to, we put some money in retirement and we invest for our future and we, get a savings, so emergency fund, and that's not fun. There's no fun in that, right?
Right.
I want to spend my money. I want to go buy stupid stuff that I don't need.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's that, we have to work on that delayed gratification thing
Right.
constantly, and it gets exhausting.
Do I need a new kettlebell?
No,
No. How many do I have? A lot.
37.
Right. A lot. But you know what? I end up doing that knowing that it's going against my savings goals or it's not going to change anything. I have more than I could ever use or need for me and if I had a whole gym for other people. But you know what? It gives me a sense of pleasure and joy in doing that. So it ends up being something bad that I do. And I think it's in my life, I've focused on controlling that, tempering that. Some people have a hard time with that. So that's where we come in to try to help. But
You
you're
have
not
that
going to get
beast.
away from you doing bad things or things that are not necessarily healthy for me,
You have that
or
beast.
for
What is
you.
that big? How heavy is that big kettlebell that you have?
Oh, the big one's 203 pounds.
Yeah, that's always fun. The
But
beast. We like look at it
yeah, yeah, right.
and we try to pick it up once in a while, and then
I just look, I walk by it. That's it. I look at it
I
like,
wave
oh,
to
that's cool, right?
it. Dust it off once in a while.
Yeah, every once in a while,
Pick it up just to say, of
Ooh,
course.
now I know why I don't use this thing.
All right. You had to pick it up once in a while, just like a deadlift, just to say, hey, of course I use it. It's part of my routine.
Right.
I pick
Well,
it up twice a year. I pick it up twice a year to dust under it.
okay. Mhm. See, I'm using it.
Uh-huh. I see, it was justified. It was a justified. I'm using it.
Right. I could justify the, $400 shipping cost for that.
Ugh, yeah.
Or whatever it was, or something ungodly. It had to come on a freight truck. Anyway.
So funny.
So we do bad things. We do unhealthy things. And okay, so one, for emotional reasons, we
Mhm.
engage in these unhealthy acts and behaviors. Number two, it's our brains. It's how our brains are wired. We want that, that hit of dopamine. We're built for survival, and it's more about being in the present moment and engaging in instant gratification and, getting our immediate needs met versus delaying doing bad shit for, our health and wellness goals. Um,
Right, right,
and it's not all the time, and it cannot be all the time, but
right.
know, it's frequent enough. That's why we're
Mhm.
talking about it.
Yeah,
Uh, three, social reasons. We're
yeah,
social animals. We want to be part of. We want to be part of a community. We want to be part of a group. We want to have friends, and even our families are social environments. And, people are doing not so healthy things. And what are we going to do? Just be, the goody two shoes, goody goody, just sitting in the corner, like not
right.
engaging in anything risky or not, eating chips or then wings while you're watching a football game or, not having a couple beers. I mean, of course I don't drink, but people can do that and enjoy that.
Yeah. Never mind. I'll just have this cucumber. Thank you.
Right, exactly. Are you going to be accepted as part of the
Right,
group? I mean,
right,
maybe for a brief period of time, but eventually, like, they're like, well, we're not inviting Tom to anything because, he
right.
doesn't eat cucumbers. And it's okay.
he's, he's got a weird cucumber fetish. That guy's weird.
Right? So we have to engage in things that are socially acceptable. And, part of that is not being 100% perfect.
Right, right. And the other part of, I think it goes along with the social aspect, is it just feels good to be bad sometimes, right?
Right?
It
Yeah.
just does. I mean, we all try to work really hard on being great human beings and whatever, but it feels good to be, to break the rules sometimes. There
Right.
is some pleasure. I mean, there's a dopamine hit right there. I'm getting to
Right.
break the rules.
Well,
Uh,
doesn't it give us a sense of control? We feel because when we have, like anxiety, we need to control things in our lives. And by
right,
doing something that's unhealthy and doing something bad for us, that's like exerting some self-control. I'm going against what, society, what the government, what, like people are
mhm,
telling me I ought to be doing. I'm shitting all over myself, and instead of doing that, I'm just gonna do some bad stuff.
right.
Mhm.
And then you're talk about the instant gratification, delayed gratification. Okay, it's also feels good to save yourself or rescue yourself.
Yeah.
See, I ate 2 donuts, and then I can see I'm not going to eat another donut for a month, and look at me, I'm a good person because
Yeah.
I can decide not to engage in that behavior again. But I wouldn't have had that feeling had I not ate the donut to begin with.
Right. Well, Brett, there's some cognitive dissonance too. And
Hmm.
that's us holding conflicting beliefs at the same time, right?
Right,
I know I need to be healthy and I want to eat that cucumber. However, I also like the donut and the chips because that gives
right,
me joy and pleasure. I don't see those things as bad. I know that they're not healthy and they won't help me achieve my health goals, especially if I do them all the time. But every once in a while, I feel like I deserve that kind of treat.
right. Yeah, both. You're right. Both things can be true.
Yeah. And boy, can we justify some bad choices, right?
Ooh, dang, dang a
Just
lang.
just this once.
Right, right. And that's that slippery slope, particularly for people that are suffering with significant addictions.
Yeah. It's a cheat weekend.
Right. Uh-huh.
Let's go get
Well,
a bag of Doritos.
exactly. You know. And then, I mean, that's true for people that are struggling with, their weight and trying to, eat healthier so that they can lose weight. I mean, food is everywhere, and you have to eat food in order to survive. So for people that struggle with weight, it can be daunting because it's something that you should have to do every day anyway.
Yeah.
With other addictions, there's not heroin in every store shelf, so a
Right. Yeah, exactly.
little bit different. But
Well,
alcohol is readily available.
let me throw this out to you. Maybe you, and you don't have to answer this, of course, but maybe some of our listeners can relate to this. Have you ever been in a romantic relationship that once you got into it, you realized this is not going to work out really well, but fuck it.
Right? Yeah,
So we're talking
that.
about food because we can relate to that the
Um,
most, but it
mhm.
goes to other things too, that we engage in when we're being not great or bad or not really healthy for ourselves, but we throw caution to the wind and we do it anyway.
Right. And the people that engage in that hookup culture, right? It's probably not good for me in the long run.
Yep.
But I mean, again, this is what I want, this is what I want right now.
This feels good tonight.
This feels good tonight. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
It was funny. I talked with a gentleman this week who was like, I broke up. This woman cheated on me and left me 6 months ago, and I can't get over her. I love her so much.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. And so I'm
So,
like, yeah, I was like, do you really miss this woman? Or do you just miss being in a relationship? You know? So we
right.
tried to separate out um the facts from the fantasy.
Yeah.
Maybe in the long run, this woman cheated on you, she left you, she's with another man. I mean, obviously you probably don't want this person in your life long term.
Yeah.
But what do you miss? So what about the relationship do you miss? I miss going out on the weekends, and I miss the sex, and I miss going, having a long dinner and just talking. Okay. Well, there's
Okay.
other people in the world you can do that with.
Exactly. Well, okay, this plays on deeper than those things. It plays on the fears, fear of being alone. Uh,
Right.
So I'm not alone right now, even though I don't really like what had happened with this relationship, and I'm not sure where it's headed in the future, and or going through a breakup, what have you. But they don't want to be by themselves because something is scary about that, and for a whole host of different reasons. But so it's easier to get back into the dysfunction because that gave some semblance of, comfort than it is to face your fears head on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
to
there
that
is,
guy, what are you afraid of most?
yeah. What is your biggest fear? Yeah.
Dying
And,
alone?
you know, let's let's think about what it is you're actually missing and wanting and not put a face in there. Like tell me what you want in a relationship. Oh, and he's very clear in describing what it is that he did want. Okay. What don't you want in a relationship? Oh, I don't want somebody that's cheating on me. I don't want blah blah blah. Okay.
Mhm.
So you have a very clear list of what you do want and what you don't want.
Yeah.
Take that list and go forward, young man.
Number four, our habits. Our habits win,
Every time.
right? So if you have habitually eaten, chips after a meal because you just like the snack and you wanted something a little bit extra and you're watching a show and it just mindlessly kind of, chomping away, those habits are going to win unless you change those habits. And
Right?
changing those habits to eat raw broccoli, which I've tried before instead of chips, just doesn't fucking work, man.
It's a cruciferous vegetable that has its own
Right.
issues.
It's healthy and I
Uh,
want to be healthy. However,
right,
and here's that cognitive dissonance again, but I want the treat.
right. As broccoli is great. I'll just drag it through a big bowl of ranch dressing.
Melted cheese.
Right.
Hey man, what were those things we had that time? The buffalo cauliflower.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit balls. That was
It was good, but it had its own issues. Yeah. Talk about a big
Yeah.
bowl of cruciferous vegetables.
Yeah. Well, that goes into the instant gratification. I want to enjoy this right now, and the consequences be damned. And then you do
Right.
it. And then you're like, oh, why did I do that to myself?
Right. And wait, we got sessions all afternoon. Womp.
Right, right. I should have waited till Saturday. So the habits win. What are your habits right now? What are you engaging in? You know that whenever we get stressed and overwhelmed, whenever we're anxious, whenever we're depressed, whenever we have really strong emotions, whenever life isn't going our way, that we end up being bad. We end up doing those unhealthy things and we end up going to our automatic behaviors.
Right. Mhm.
Our autopilot gets turned on.
Exactly.
That's our subconscious mind.
Yeah. How many people have we talked to that have developed a problem with alcohol? And it just started with, well, I only had like 2 beers when I got home from work every night.
Right.
Well, then 2 beers turned into 10 beers. And then their habits just, continue to blossom.
Yeah.
And, we're Gen X. So, I mean, it was, you watched your parents come home and make a drink every evening. I mean, it was
Yeah.
just, that's the way it did. And, you know, that was a habit, and the habits can, well, I just ate one donut, but when I bought a dozen, I just ate the box.
Yeah.
And I say replace the word motivation with habit.
Yeah.
So I'm not motivated to work out, but I have a habit.
Exactly.
It's
You're
just
going to
what I
stick to
do.
those habits. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's about momentum,
yeah,
building momentum through habits. Make a couple of those habits healthy. You don't
yeah.
have to be all healthy all the time because that, like, I don't know, philosophically. So that's number five of, philosophically, that me being compliant and doing what's right all of the time removes like individualism, it removes independence, it removes freedom of
Yeah.
choice for me.
Mhm.
So philosophically, I want to exert power and control over at least myself and my choices and my ability to make choices. And so I end up doing those bad things. I mean, to your point again about what we want to rebel in some way
All right.
against the machine, you know. Um,
Yeah.
I saw a clip where they had on it was a radio program but it was also televised or something and it was a British it was BBC or something. They had Rage Against the Machine
Mm.
and they said you see where this is going. Please don't curse on the air. So of course he gets into the chorus of one of the most popular songs and he doesn't say the curse word like the first two times and then he's like fuck you, I won't do what you tell me.
Uh,
And then they cut it off, but it was just like, you're asking this group about this
right.
song to not curse on them?
Right. I mean, that's the whole point of the song.
Right.
Down
Yeah,
with the man.
exactly. Yeah. So we,
Yeah.
we want to exert freedom, control, and independence. And we do that. And at least eating a donut and some chips is an expression of that, you know?
Right. And I think, I'm not always the biggest fan of the word triggers. I know it's a popular term.
Yeah.
Um, a trigger is not, I was triggered to do something. No, a trigger for me is a signal, right?
Yeah.
Your ears perk up. The trigger is like, there's some relation here. What's happening? What's going on here?
Pay attention.
Pay attention.
Yeah.
And, particularly for, like food. I mean, you walk through a store and you get a smell of something. Like
Yeah.
pumpkin spice in the fall. These people
Yeah.
like, ooh, pumpkin spice apple cider donuts. Mmm.
Yeah.
And the smell just like, oh, I remember when we went, and we spent the time at the orchard, and the donuts were so good. And now I got to give you some
Right. Yeah. Well, I think this is where we end up going wrong, or some people go wrong, is because they say, well, I was triggered, and they're justifying their action. And
right,
so, like a gun, you pull the trigger, bang, right? There's an action that happens.
right,
And so they're saying, well, I was triggered, so this is why I responded in that way. When in fact, to your point, the trigger the action that has happened wasn't your reaction or your behavior. It's this moment of pause when you have to stop and pay attention to what's
Right.
going on around you and what is happening in your mind, what memory is being released. That's the action. And then you can decide, in fact, here's where freedom of choice comes into play, how you're going to respond to that memory being triggered.
Yeah. 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 Again, it's a pause. It's a, I need to pay attention. I'm going to probably have to make a decision here.
Yeah.
So, but the trigger is not an excuse. It's, I couldn't help it. I was triggered.
Yeah.
Well, no, you got, you were triggered and then you had an opportunity to make a choice. And in the words of Sean Connery, you chose poorly. No, it wasn't
Yeah.
Connery, but it was a Sean Connery movie. You chose
Right, right. The Indiana
poorly.
Jones,
Mhm.
yeah. You chose poorly. Well,
That is
okay, we're pushing that boulder up the hill, Sisyphus style, and that becomes monotonous and boring. We go to work, we pay our bills, we pay, like our taxes, we do what's right, we try to be kind and relatable, and we, this and that. And that's all great, and we eat, broccoli. However, it's boring, monotonous,
right.
routine, which we know these are all good things. These are healthy things to have routines, to have monotony in our lives, something we can rely upon, a set of rules in which to live by, and but we want to have fun. We're still like human beings. We're not going to be perfect, and that's okay.
Right. And the I think maybe the conclusion to this story is so even if you fall into temptation and ate the donut or the bag of chips, okay, it's done, it's over with, move on, right? There's no point in dwelling on it. There's no point in beating yourself up. It was, I made a bad decision. I had the fork in the road and I took the wrong direction. Okay, that's a learning experience, and you can
Yeah.
put the file that into your history and learn from it.
Yeah.
So
So have some self-compassion.
yeah,
Be kind with yourself. You don't have to beat yourself up or throw on the guilt because of those things and make yourself feel
right,
bad. No, you know what? I enjoyed having that donut and bag of chips. Didn't make me feel as good physically, but you know what? At the time, I enjoyed that, and that's okay.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm just gonna go get a donut. Dang it! What's that?
Hey man, it's Friday, right? So,
God, triggered. I'm triggered by the donut conversation.
yeah.
So we're gonna make Dunkin' Donuts a fortune with this broadcast today. Everyone's gonna go get a dang donut.
Let's be kind to ourselves and focus on the small wins. You know what? Be proud of the times when you do make good choices and that are healthy, that are helping you achieve your goals. Do
Right,
that more often, 80% of the time, and allow
right,
yourself to have the 20% where you engage in freedom of choice and independence and
right.
being part of the group and allowing yourself to get a hit of dopamine and feel good emotionally. Like, allow yourself that opportunity
Yeah.
20% of the time.
It's funny. People come in. It's like I can't believe Tom. I have no self control. I'm just a jerk. I can't believe I ate a donut yesterday.
Yeah,
Right. And it's like, okay, so you had a donut yesterday. Tell me about the 29 days before that. Did you have a
yeah,
donut?
right.
Well, no. Well, that's really impressive. You didn't have a donut for 29 days.
Yeah,
But people focus on the one aspect or the smaller percentage of when I failed. And that's an important topic.
yeah.
But also we need to celebrate the times that you maintained your self-control,
Right.
maintained your good habits and your good decisions.
We're not going to be perfect, Brett. Sorry. I,
Ah, dang it, Tom. Thanks for bursting my bubble.
right. Well, we saw how well the Stepford wives worked out, right?
Yeah, right.
Things are not going to be perfect. You're a human being,
Yeah.
It's okay. We're fallible.
Mhm.
Just lean into it. Just accept that. Radical acceptance of that and just do your best, man.
Right.
But thank you guys for listening. Thank you for the question. I hope we helped to illustrate and throw some thoughts your way. And let's keep the conversation going about this. You're going to be bad out there, and that's okay. Share your comments, concerns, and your questions with us at questions@therapyunzipped.com. We'll be happy to answer them and talk about them.
All right. Well, Tom, thank you for your time. Great to see you as always.
Same. Great to see you, and I hope you have a tremendous weekend.
Yes, you as well.